This show contains spoilers and adult language. Listener discretion is advised.
Movies with Ron, movies with Ron.
Hell yeah, motherfucker.
Movies with Ron.
All right, so I was talking to Mom,
Yeah.
and I told her I have a girlfriend now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She responds with, "Oh, does she think that?" Welcome to episode 107 of Movies with Ron, the podcast where my older brother recaps a movie he saw from beginning to end for me and you, because we like his versions better. It's okay if you've seen the movie. It's okay if you haven't seen it. The experience is unique, so let's get it on. I'm Chris, your MC for the time being. Here with me tonight, our sound guy, Rick.
What's going on, everybody?
And here he is, folks.
He's the ball cracker, death on foot. You know him, you love him. He's Ron. Ron.
Hey, Ron.
Hey, guys. Welcome back.
I know, right?
Back from the break, and Rick is back from the dead. He smells better than ever. Candy, however, is camping this weekend.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to say too much about it because, the last episode before the break, we kind of busted her balls a little bit for not being here.
Yeah.
And later, she busted my balls. So, Candy, we wish you were here, and everything's fine.
Yeah. If you want to see Candy, guys, she is at these coordinates. Everyone say hi to James Roy, David Curry, and Robert Pantano.
Hey, guys.
What's going on, bros?
Welcome to the show.
What about Jurassic World? You guys been paying attention to shit going on?
Not one bit.
It's made $1 billion.
Why?
I don't know.
It's not that good.
I heard at the end it's all about cloning.
Yeah.
Like they're cloning humans. Like, what are they doing? The third Jurassic World movie better be like a Fallout-style Mad Max kind of thing about humans versus dinosaurs.
Yeah, and the hero, who is Chris Pratt, wandering the wasteland with his pet raptor.
Or people becoming dinosaurs.
That was the original plan for Jurassic Park 3.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. There's like concept art online. Human dinosaur hybrids.
Oh.
It's ridiculous.
Or if people, like, turned into cats.
Yeah.
Yeah. You like this segue?
You mean like some sort of cat people?
From 1982.
Cat People! Starring Natasha Kinski.
It's pronounced Natasha.
Whoa. She gets naked? A lot?
I heard.
But, it's like a 12-year-old boy, so, no big deal.
People say her acting is spot on, though.
It's pretty good for a cat person.
The theme song is done by David Bowie.
I know. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Giorgio Moroder
Right.
did all the music for Cat People. And then he did all the instrumentation for this theme song, and then David Bowie sang the lyrics.
Yes.
I didn't know it was for Cat People. Fucking Inglourious Bastards has that song in it. So does Atomic Blonde.
Did anyone even see Atomic Blonde?
Nah.
Yeah, who cares?
I saw it. It's not too bad.
My barber saw it. He seemed to like it.
Yeah? I know, he carved it into the back of your head.
What?
Also starring Malcolm McDowell.
Oh, man.
Hell yeah.
In his heyday, too. In his Beatles hair comes down over his ears days. And I'll tell you what, he is magic in this movie.
Yeah?
Watching him. He's like, so, I'm a cat. I'll need 2 years to get into character. And he brought the thunder, ladies and gentlemen. He acts like a cat.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh, yeah. He is number one.
Long live the king. On a side note, Ron, do you remember a game called Mummy, Curse of the Pharaoh's Tomb? It's a computer game that me and Chris played in Stuttgart.
Yeah, I do.
And
This is like a point-and-click adventure.
yeah, and it would have cutscenes with real actors. Malcolm McDowell was in that.
Right.
It
Yeah.
was.
I went onto YouTube and found the full playthrough. And I got the experience of finally beating it.
Hey, good, man. That's how I beat games. Watch that shit on the tube.
Hell yeah.
Cat People also stars the dad from Home Alone.
Yeah, Kevin McAllister's dad.
He was married to Margot Kidder for 6 days.
Who's that again?
Lois Lane from the original Superman.
Oh, God.
6 days, huh?
Yeah.
Longer than I would have made it. Can't stand her. So what happened? Why only the 6 days? Did she put him in the hospital? She abused him, right?
They were in bed, and he's quite a violent sleeper.
Yeah?
And in the throes of a dream, he rolled off the bed and landed on her dog. Killed it instantly.
Man, that's sad.
Fucking true story.
Good Lord.
Violent sleeper.
Also starring Ed Begley Jr.
Right.
If you don't know who that is, it's not really a big deal.
Not to be confused with Ed Begley,
Sure.
who everyone knows. Lots of familiar faces in this movie. The last one of note, John Larroquette.
Absolutely. He's in this movie for like 5 minutes, and it is weird as hell. This movie also has Ruby Dee in it, who is magical. She's the only one who bothered to come to the set with like a Creole accent, because it all takes place in New Orleans.
Roger Ebert gave it 3 out of 4 stars. He said, Cat People is a good movie in an old tradition. A fantasy horror film that takes itself just seriously enough to work.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a thinking man's movie.
When most people compared it to Cat People from 1942, which this was kind of a loose remake of.
Yes. This movie came out also at the same time as The Thing,
Yeah.
which was also an RKO property back in like the 40s. So in the 80s, RKO was like, hey, you guys, we got like all these old horror movies, and you guys does anyone want to remake them? And Universal was like, yeah, you know what? Yes. Okay, you know what? We'll take 2 of them. We'll make them and release them. We'll make them scary and we'll make a scary one and a sexy one. And then both kind of bombed at the box office, right?
Yeah, they didn't do that well.
And then Universal's like, yeah, okay, we're good.
This was also a year after American Werewolf in London, The Howling, and Wolfen came out.
Wolfen.
So we were gaga for movies about people transforming into shit.
Yeah. I found this movie as a child because of Candy.
Mm-hmm.
She acted like she hardly remembered it.
Oh.
I don't even know if I've even seen it all the way through. And I was like, what? Because it's not like it's this movie that greatly affected my childhood, but I remember it so vividly because of all the panthers and the boobs.
Yeah.
Candy also showed me another movie about people that turn into cats. The only other werecat movie. Sleepwalkers.
Hey, there you go.
I was about halfway through this movie and I was like, man, I should have done Sleepwalkers.
Based on the old Stephen King story.
Yeah.
That one was kind of incesty, wasn't it?
This one is too.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. See, that's the thing about cats, guys. They have sex with their brothers and their sisters. To cats, it's semi-normal.
Yeah.
Candy and I were kids watching Sleepwalkers. We stayed up late to watch this.
Uh-huh.
This was very shortly after our mom married our stepfather. We weren't supposed to be up watching TV, and he came out and did one of his very first, you know what? I'm a part of this family now, and I'm going to come out and do some parenting on my own. He came out, and he walked out on the scene where the dude is having sex with his own mother. And he really overshot the parenting. And, he said that we were sick and watching filth.
Yeah.
And how could we even want to watch such a thing? Get the hell out of here and go to bed.
Oh.
So we were like, all right, fine. Then he went back to bed and we were like, he's not our dad. And we came out and we finished it. And I wish I had known then what I know now. Cats are incestuous, man.
Yeah.
It's not that weird if you know you're talking about cats.
For real.
All right, folks. I hope you like incest, because it's cat people on Movies with Ron.
It's showtime. Get the people out! Come on! Get the people out!
All right, so we start off with this red, dry, barren desert. It's got like skulls in the sand and shit, and then David Bowie's song starts playing.
How does it go?
It's like, people making sex and becoming cats. And then it goes, whoosh, cat people. Hope you like incest. So all these early tribes, of, desert people, they're like scratching in the dirt, looking for bugs and shit to eat. Life sucks. Okay. They're all like listening to David Bowie, right? And then all of a sudden, one of them gets grabbed by these like tribal guards and dragged off towards the panther tree. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. It's just this big dead tree covered in panthers. Okay. Also, by the way, watching this movie, I found out there's no such thing as panthers. Anybody know that? There's not an animal called a panther. The word panther is a general term to describe big cats.
Yeah.
And what you know of as a black panther is actually a black leopard.
Oh.
So they take this girl and they tie her to the panther tree. So it is time for a sacrifice. It cuts to that night. All right, it's dark. And this girl is tied up to this tree, and this panther, like, looking at her. He, like, walks up to her. Hey. You look, you look nice tonight. How about some champagne? And the girl's like, oh, shit. And then the panther just stands up and eats her face.
Yeah?
Yeah, and it's all in silhouette, so it actually looks like they might be sucking face.
Nice.
Like that's in the David Bowie video.
Oh, cool.
People fucking cats. Making cat babies. Look at that. So you wanna fuck cat people with gasoline. Anyway, then it cuts to the same desert, which is now all lush and green, okay? And the tree is like covered in these little red scarves, I guess, that from all the sacrifices, okay?
Yeah.
Anyway, sacrifice worked. Yeah, and there's like a city in the distance,
Uh-huh.
And now there's somebody taking another girl off to the panther tree. Now there's a cave next to it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like drawings on it. And there's like this panther that's got the arms of a man. So, these sacrifices, they've been happening throughout the years. The little girl has to walk into the cave, and there's a panther waiting for her, a sex panther.
Sex panther.
All right.
Yeah. And it's like staring into her eyes. And she's like, man. And then her face just fades into the face of Natasha Kinski, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, here we go.
She's got short hair, green eyes, ruby red lips, and the ass of a 10-year-old boy. She's at the airport. She's just come to New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like walking around like, I don't know what to do. She's going to go make a phone call. And then there is Malcolm McDowell. And you see him and you're just like, old friend, where have you been? Because he has two phases in his career. One is the Beatles hair that goes over his ears. And then at some point he just went straight to bleach blonde, white buzz cut. And he's like, hi, I'm Paul. Oh, hi, I'm Irina. I know. And he's all like sexy and creepy. You know?
Yeah.
Malcolm McDowell, baby, right? Welcome to the Big Easy. I've waited so long for you. Welcome home. And he takes her back to his house. And there we meet his maid, Female. It's Ruby D, baby.
All right.
She's his Creole maid, and her name is Female. Okay. She was an orphan like these two, okay, and they didn't know her name. They didn't put a name on the birth certificate. And, the lady who raised her, God rest her soul, she didn't speak English so good, so she saw that, she'd say, Female. There you go. She's playing it like hardcore Creole. It's awesome. She got like fucking voodoo braids and shit.
Fucking voodoo magic, man.
And from her, we learned that Paul and Irina are long-lost brother and sister.
Oh.
Okay, their parents died when he was like 10 and she was 4, I guess. So it's dinner time, and Paul is like blessing the meal. Turns out he's like really religious, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Like works at the mission in town. And we're having Female's special tiger penis gumbo tonight. Ha
Dictators.
Yes. Good, Chris. Irina's like, yeah, my other family, they're really awesome. And when she starts talking about them, I keep wanting to call Malcolm McDowell Alex. But it's Paul. He gets all offended. He's like, did they tell you how our parents died? Yes. Some sort of porn accident. What did they say about me? Big penis. Yes. I've got a surprise for you. No peeking. And he brings her upstairs. And he opens up this closet, and in it, he's got all of this stuff from their childhood, like their toys and things, but also pictures of penises. He's like, what do you think? That's me. That's Dad. Turns out their parents and their grandparents were like circus folk.
Mm-hmm.
She's looking at all this like wide-eyed, like, wow. And it's right then we get our first taste of the creepiness. Paul is behind her, and he like kind of does that nuzzle smell thing in like her neck. Like he just comes out with it.
Yeah.
And she's like, haha, that's not weird, and just shrugs it off. He starts juggling, because he was a circus kid. And then she starts juggling too. He tosses her the balls, and they're like saying some rhyme from when they were kids.
What balls does he toss to her?
His circus balls. Anyway, she's juggling his balls too, and he is in love. Later, she's sleeping in her bed, and he's like, downstairs, in a tank top now. And it's time. He walks past Female, who looks up like, fuck you doing? And he just looks at, I'm going to go do the thing. And she's like, okay. So we follow him upstairs, and we begin to hear some like Predator music. Not the cool Predator music. Sexual Predator music. Mm-hmm. He walks into her room. He's looking at her sleeping, and then he just jumps up onto the footboard of her bed, and it is silent. It's actually wonderful to watch. He jumps up like a cat.
Yeah.
So he's up there, and he just stares at her, and then, no shit, he purrs. And then we cut to a hooker on the street. That's right. Chris's favorite whore. She walks into this Fleabag hotel, and the guy that works there, he's like, okay, you got a customer waiting upstairs. Come on, 45 minutes. Get in there. She's like, yeah, okay. She goes inside. She starts taking off her clothes. She just starts giving the routine to this John that we haven't seen yet. She's like, okay, for $25, I'll let you smurf me up my smurfing smurf. Hello? There's nobody there. She sits down on the bed, and there's like a pile of slimy shit on the bed. She's like, oh, God. And then she starts like digging through it. Like, no shame. She's seen worse. She looks down at the ground, and there is a panther tails sticking out of from under the bed.
Damn.
What is that? She kind of kicks it with her foot, and it like moves around like a cattail. She's like, what the hell? And then, wow! It grabs her leg and tries to pull her onto the bed.
Oof.
She's like, oh, shit! She runs out of the room, falls, and then claws her way down the stairs. It's weird. like on her belly. She turns over, and her bra just pops open. This is the first of many times.
Fuck yeah.
There are so many boobs in this movie, dude. And then the cat just fucks her. Right? Happens off camera.
Huh.
Anyway, the next day, cops are all over this place. Okay, you're like, oh, I guess he fucked her to death. Anyway, a zoo truck comes pulling up. Like, hey, somebody said something about a stray cat? Yeah, go on in. And now we meet the zoo team, and they are Kevin McAllister's dad.
All right.
Beverly Marsh from the original It miniseries. Mm-hmm. And Ed Begley Jr. The detective is like, yeah, I guess a hooker got, mauled last night. Turns out it's a panther, man. And the zoo guys are like, what? Are you serious? Yeah, we don't know where it came from, but it is trapped in the room upstairs. Oof. So, go get it. They go in and they look at the camera monitor because there's cameras in the whoring rooms. Okay? So the guy downstairs can jack off. They see, man, yep, there is a panther in this hotel room, just like loping around the room. How do I get out of here?
Yeah.
Holy shit, look at the size of them. All right, that's it. Kevin's dad, he's like, all right, let's go with the ketamine, 2,000 milligrams ought to do it. And so they just get high, baby. Hey! Later, they all wake up. And the cops are like, the fuck's going on here? All right, let's get the panther. So Kevin's dad climbs a ladder up to the window, and he starts, cleaning it off with his hand. Beverly Marsh is in there watching the camera. What the fuck are you doing, man? I'm cleaning the window. It's dirty. He knows you're in there. You're scaring him. This panther is in this room, circling, come on, motherfucker! Oh, shit. You come in here, you are leaving with a sore ass, motherfucker. And then it breaks the window. Okay, and it scares the shit out of Kevin's dad. He almost falls off the ladder. He hangs on. He's like, okay, you know what? All right, then this is happening. And he pulls out his pistol and then just shoots that panther right up its asshole with a dart.
Nice.
Wow, wow, wow! The panther goes nuts and starts trashing the room. He's like, oh, damn! Jumping all over the place. Man, fuck this place. He's trashing the bed. It's a real panther. They're like, hey, can you get the panther in here? Make it trash the hotel room. The trainer's like, yep, oh, you got it. Right then, Irina, wakes up. Like a nightmare? I don't know. She felt something. Mm-hmm. She goes downstairs, and Famale is watching Top Cat. Because she's fucking awesome. Oh, hey, Famale, where's Paul? I don't know. He had to do some shit, Maybe he's down at the mission. Oh, well, he was going to show me the sights. Bitch, get a guidebook. You want some breakfast? No.
You want me to take my shirt off for you?
I thought I was your snack pack. And you got about 20 minutes of Irina wandering New Orleans She ends up going to the mission, okay? She walks in, finds some lady. Hey, is Paul here? Not today. Oh, well, that lying bastard. Now she's in a cab, and the cabbie lady is the most interesting person in the movie. She is a treat to watch. Oh, what's that over there? Oh, that's the zoo. That's a shithole. No, I want to go there. What the fuck for? It's your money. It's a dump, though. Let me take you to French Quarters. She's like, no, I've seen the French Quarter. I want to go to the zoo. She goes in, and there's monkeys throwing poop all over the place. It's not a very well-kept zoo. She goes and finds the lions and tigers, and she's like, ooh. And there is, in one of the cages, the Black Panther. And it sees her, and it's like, bitch! Rawr! She's just staring at it, and it gets in the corner I'm just going to show you my ass. So she pulls out her sketchbook and starts to sketch the ass. He's growling at her, fuck off! And then we cut to Kevin's dad and John Larroquette. Kevin's dad is the curator of the zoo, but John Larroquette is like a member of the board or something like that.
Yeah.
What are we going to do with this panther, man? What we're going to have to do is we're going to have to disarm him. Okay. Well, what does that mean? Cut its claws, file and crown its fangs. There's a dentist in town that does the work. Radenour. Tom Radenour? Yeah, he does people too. Yeah, I know. He did my wife. Beverly Marsh is like, well, we got a gourmet panther. He just puked up some pepperoni pizza. The fuck? Panthers eat pizza? Well, they're scavengers, so he probably just nosing around in the trash, Later, it's closing time. Kevin's dad locking up, and he hears some snarling. He goes out to look at the panther, and there's Irina, like in the dark, still sketching one of now many panther asshole sketches. She's just mesmerized, hypnotized. Like keeps winking at her. She's been there all day long doing this shit. Okay, it's like the zoo's closed. Kevin's dad's like, "Hey," and she's like, "Oh shit!" She drops all of her stuff, not just her sketch pad, but she throws her purse on the ground and just runs. She just cuts and runs. She jumps up a tree. Okay, and Kevin's dad is like, "How the fuck do you get up there? Come on down, come on. Now, who are you?" "Irina, who are you?" "I'm Kevin McAllister's dad from Home Alone." "I think we like each other." And that panther is in the cage like, hey, hey. Anyway, she doesn't feel so good. So, you know what? He has drugs. He's a veterinarian, right? So, let's do this. Oh, baby. He's like, it's cool. Women run from me all the time, man. "I need some food. Would you like to have some dinner with me?" "Yeah, sure. I know a great steak place." "Oh, I don't eat meat." "Oh, so you're an idiot." And she is, because she just had tiger penis gumbo last night. So they go and get oysters. Right? The fuck is that? I know this great place that serves snot in a fucking shell.
Aren't oysters meat?
Yeah, that ain't meat, right? But he does teach her how to eat them, and that is a scene that remained with me my whole life. He's like, yeah, you put some shit on it, and then a little hot sauce, just a little bit, and then you basically just let it slide down your throat. So she does this, and he's like, and then you chase it with a swig of beer, and he hands her his beer, and then she drinks her own soda, and he is visibly disappointed that she won't drink alcohol. So what's Kevin's dad? What's going on? Seriously, he's like, pfft. So she needs a job, and he actually gives her one in the gift shop of the zoo. The next day, Beverly Marsh is bathing elephants, which is pretty fun. Mm-hmm. Kevin's dad shows up for work, and she goes to give him a kiss, and he gives her the cheek. So they obviously have an existing relationship.
Yeah.
And she's like, fuck's going on here? Oh, hell no. Why are you so dressed up? I got a meeting? He goes and checks out the gift shop, and he spies on Irina, who is obviously just fucking off and doing nothing. She's leaning over the counter, and he's just staring at her butt. Hey, how's it going? She said, oh, it's good. I like being around the animals. And it's nothing but stuffed toys, animals. Okay? It's like, oh, yeah, it's very fulfilling, I'm sure. Anyway, if you're interested in fulfillment, we could have dinner again, or, maybe do some Special K. All right, I'll talk to you later. We see Ed Begley Jr. Feeding all the tigers and shit. And he goes and feeds an orangutan. An orangutan.
Yeah.
Who is watching soap operas on a TV inside his cage. What self-respecting zoo let this happen? But you know what? Maybe they know something other zoos don't. Beverly Marsh walks into the gift shop, and she notices that Irina don't know shit about her job. There's a couple of Boy Scouts in there trying to buy something, and she can't work the register. I don't know. And they're like, come on, bitch. Beverly's like, I thought you guys were supposed to be courteous here. And then she has to like hit the register, and that's what makes it work, right? So she rings them up, and they make special mention. She's like, okay, what do you got here? Okay, Empire Strikes Back gum. That'll be 25 cents. And I was just like, that's cool. You know, what does a cool kid buy at the zoo gift shop?
Yeah.
Star Wars gum. Beverly turns to Irina. She's like, so that's how you do it. Anyway, listen, bitch. Kevin's dad is mine. Okay. Why don't we go and drink? Okay. So it cuts to them at the bar. All right. But it's just Irina at the bar. And there's these two guys, like hitting on her at the bar. Hey, so, you know, that sweater's really nice. Are you wearing a bra? And she's like totally silent. And then Bev walks up. She's just like, excuse me. And then the two guys just say, okay, two guys. Now that a second woman has shown up, they're like, oh, geez, where'd she come from? And it scares them off.
Jesus.
They're like they came to double team one. They can't double team. It's no good. Bev's like, geez, Irina, don't encourage these assholes, please. Okay. I mean, I didn't say anything. Also, I've never had sex. What the fuck? Really? Well, I came close once. Well, why didn't you do it? His dick was like huge. Oh, wow. What's his number? And then right then, this spooky lady in a toy bin. It's like young Frankenstein's wife shows up.
Yeah.
She's like in a fur coat and a turban. She walks up to Irina. She's like, mi hermana. What? Mi hermana. Nothing. Never mind. And then the lady leaves. The fuck was that about? Anyway, I'm scared of huge dicks. Well, cheers to that. The next day, Ed Begley is, he's spraying the cages down with a hose, and the panther won't move. He's like, come on, bitch! Get in the back of the cage! Don't make me straight. It's like Ed Begley Jr. with a hose at a panther cage. What do you think's gonna happen? I don't think he'd be able to resist spraying that panther. Right? Would you? What would you do? You'd spray that panther in the face, right?
Yeah.
Just like, you'd look around, make sure nobody saw you. You do it like one time. See what he does. I bet it would make him mad.
Yeah. Don't you normally spray house cats with squirt guns
Yeah.
so that they fuck off?
Bad kitty. Anyway, he's like, come on, don't make me spray you with this hose. The panther's like, hey, I'm fucking panther, bitch. Come on, man. Irina just walks in. Okay. She's a gift shop employee. It's fine.
Yeah.
She gets up and looks at the panther, and they just stare at each other. And then the panther just attacks the bars. Come on, you fucker! All right, panther, you need to simmer down. Kevin's dad, bring the prod. Kevin's dad shows up with a cattle prod, okay, and he straps it to Ed Begley's arm. Like, here, put it in your hand. Now there's a strap. It goes around your wrist, okay? Ed Begley Jr. is like, yeah. All right. And he like reaches it into the cage. He's like, you want this? Huh? You want this? Panther's like, yep. Ed Begley Jr. reaches his arm in there with the prod, and the panther just immediately rips that shit right off. Rips the arm right off, okay? Because he claws at the cattle prod and hooks the strap.
Yeah.
Okay? And yeah, pulls his arm right off. It is great gore, too.
For real?
Yeah.
Damn.
Ed Begley Jr. goes down, baby. Oh, shit, I think I fucked up, boss. Kevin's dad's like, why'd you strap it to your arm? Why is that even a thing? Shit, give me 2,000 milligrams of ketamine. Whoa! Okay, now call a doctor for Ed Begley Jr. I think he's already dead. He woke up later. Something happened with a panther? Irina is in there when he gets his arm ripped off, and there is a really cool shot of just her shoes splashed with blood. Kevin's dad runs into his office to get his rifle, okay? Beverly follows him in. She's like, no, don't do this. Don't do this. He's like, oh, God, Ed Begley Jr. It'll never be the same again. And then Beverly Marsh just goes, he's only 26 years old. And I'm like, wait, who? The Panther? Like, don't kill the Panther because he's only 26? You can't be talking about Ed Begley Jr. because he was born 60 years old.
Is he dead?
He's never shown again. I don't know.
Oh, damn.
Anyway, Kevin's dad goes into the cage room to shoot that bitch, and the Panther is gone. The cage door is open, and there's just a puddle of shit in the middle of the cage. All right. We fucked up. Fucking Panther escaped. Let's go tell the cops. Irina gets home, and she's like, Famale? Famale? Okay, I go to my room. She's in there, and then in walks Paul. She's like, holy shit, where were you? In prison. Prison? Why? He's like, never mind. I was praying for the condemned. Oh, Paul, it was horrible. I saw somebody die today. Oh, yeah, I guess he did die, because I think she said he died. I watched somebody die today.
Okay.
And then Paul's just like, I wasn't sure you were ready until I saw you with him. And she's like, what? What are you talking about? And who? Kevin's dad? You want to fuck him, don't you? Whoa. Yeah? Coming right out. You dream about fucking him, huh? Huh? She's like, the fuck are you talking? You feel it, don't you? You feel it in your nerves, in your mouth, in your breasts. You go wet between your legs. Stop it! Stop it, Paul! She's crying. And she's like, man, I have known you for one day. Why are you talking to me like this? You tell yourself it's love, but it isn't. It's blood and death. And watching this, you're like, cool. Pretty good line. We need each other, baby. Get away from me! And he, like, takes off his belt. Okay, and you're like, what you gonna do with that, Paul? And he, like, holds it up in a loop, and he's like, what are you going to do? Jump through his hoop? And then he walks up and wraps it around her neck. Pulls her to him. Oh, that's what you were gonna do. Okay. I need you. And then he gets on his knees and starts pulling at her dress. Like he needs her vagina.
Yeah.
She's like, oh my God. He looks up at her and he has panther eyes, dude.
Damn.
It's cool. She's like, what the fuck? And she jumps out the window. She does like a handspring out the window. It's like really graceful and cat-like.
Yeah.
Bitch. He jumps out and he follows her. Okay. She ends up running right into a cop. The cop's like, hey, you winning, bro. She's like, no, somebody's following me. She turns around. Paul's gone. Oh, never mind. It's cool. Another cop pulls up and he's like, hey, officer buddy, is everything okay? Yeah. She thought some guy's following her and it's fine. No bra, though. And then that cop's canine dog, his police dog in the back, starts barking. Oh. And the cop is like, shut up, you idiot. This is 1983. That's how you treated a cop dog back then.
Yeah.
Call him an idiot and shit. What's going on with your dog? I don't know. He senses something. I better call it in. My dog is barking. I'd better call this in. Like, what the hell, right? Anyway, it just cuts to that house, and it's swarming with cops. Yeah, the dog was barking. The detective there is Barney from Silence of the Lambs. You remember him? The orderly that was always giving her towels so she could wipe the cum off of her face? Never mind.
Frankie Faison. Good actor.
Fuzzone.
Okay, gotcha.
Barney is like, call in them people from the zoo. So Kevin's dad and Beverly Marsh are there. Okay. Also Famale and a crying Irina, right? Yeah. Kevin's dad. Let me show you the basement. At least now we know where the panther come from. He takes him down into the basement and shows him the remains of like 3 or 4 dead bodies, okay, that have all been torn apart.
Oh, God.
And they're like, holy shit. Yeah, it turns out he had a panther, okay? He was keeping it in the basement, and he was feeding it like prostitutes.
No.
You know, people like it. There's other missing people and other, dead bodies we found in the city with like genitals ripped out. We thought it was just like normal shit. But I'm willing to, connect the two. Kevin's dad is like, where would he have gotten a big cat like this? And how could he have handled it? Well, it turns out his parents, they were like lion tamers and shit, So it makes sense. That's what they did anyway until they blew their brains out one night while they was making porno. Man, are you serious? Oh, yeah, man. I seen it, too. It's good. What about Irina? Fucking, what about it, man? She didn't even know Paul until like one day ago. Yeah, nah, she's cool. It's no reason to suspect her. We are gonna fucking arrest this maid, though. Come on, bitch! And they arrest Famale. She's like, I don't know nothing. Oh. He just wanted to fuck his sister. I made some gumbo. What the fuck? Irina should have a new place to live, though. And Kevin's dad is like, I'll take care of that. Right in front of Beverly Marsh, who's like, what? Oh, really? So they all leave, and Kevin's dad brings Irina home. I don't know how he got rid of Beverly, But he's got skills. So he takes her home, and there's like, sexy synth playing. He's like, okay, good night. She's like, what? Okay. He just walks into his room, slams the door, and then you just hear this. So the next day, they go on a date. They go on a country drive date, okay? Driving through Louisiana. Mm-hmm. And he's, like, rubbing her shoulder or her neck, like, while he's driving. She, like, nuzzles into it. Like, oh, this nice. Yeah. I like you, Kevin's dad. And they get to this old house, like this old bayou fishing hut. Okay. Like, there's this old guy who, like, maybe it's his house. Anyway, he's friends with Kevin's dad. His name is Smeg. Old Smeg. Yeah, I took care of it for you, changed the sheets. Okay. None of them are clean, though, so. Thanks, Smeg. All right, I'll see ya. So now he and Irina go fishing, all right? But they're, like, fishing with nets and shit, catching mud flippers and, I don't know, crawdaddies.
Yeah.
Anyway, the point is they're wearing waders. They're like standing in the bayou, okay?
Oh, okay.
She gets out, walks out to put some crawdads in the bucket. She bends over to do this, and we see that she's wearing like full leg waders with Daisy Duke shorts. So you can't see any skin until she bends over. And when that happens, Kevin's dad is like, oh, man. Is anybody else seeing this? Anyway, they're having a good time. We cut to a cemetery in New Orleans, It's got those, apparently. And there's this slutty blonde. And she's just hanging out, having a good time. All of a sudden, Paul, he's there. Yes. And he's got his camera. He's like, may I take your picture? And he's just smiling, Malcolm McDowell, baby. Like, you don't tell him no. Later, Kevin's dad and Irina are eating whatever shit they caught in the swamp. And she's like, this nasty. And then Kevin's dad's like, well, all right, how about this? And then he just forces himself on her, and they let's get it on, bone. I can feel it fly, baby. She's like, I can't do this. Oh, yeah, cool. One of those. Right then it cuts to Paul and the blonde, naked in bed.
Nice.
Okay. Oh, hang on. She's like, don't worry, baby, it happens. And he's like, not to me!
Oh.
It's fine, it's cool. I keep praying that every time it won't happen again. And she's like, yeah, well, it's fine. I really like you. I like you too. And she's like full boobs on the camera, you know? The director was just like, okay, what's your name? Yeah. Okay, take off your shirt. Like to every woman in this movie. Anyway, don't worry about it. You know what? How about this? And then she just goes down and starts blowing them. Okay? And it's a full shot of naked Malcolm McDowell. And this naked blonde, and he's just got a fistful of blonde hair in his crotch. You know? And he's like, and and she's like, oh, see there it goes. Yes. Later that night, Irina wakes up in the fishing shed. Okay? They're staying the night there.
Yeah.
She wakes up. She's in a nightgown. She starts rubbing her body because she's horny. She ain't gonna leave Kevin's dad alone, though. She go outside with the bugs and the frogs. She goes outside and gets naked. Okay? It's very underwhelming. But, you know, it's a personal preference, whatever. Anyway, so much nudity in this movie. It's actually quite refreshing, to be honest. We start to see through her eyes, and her vision is all like weird, colory night vision. Okay, she might be going feral, you know, a little bit here.
Yeah.
You know, she sees through the eyes of a sex panther.
Sex panther.
Like she's like animals. She sees like snakes and owls and, you know, all the putrid life of the Mississippi. Anyway, then she, no shit, hunts and kills a wabbit.
Nice.
Killed a wabbit. Killed a wabbit. And then she sneaks back inside. Kevin's dad is laying there in bed like, do we have any Special K left? Can't sleep without it. Anyway, what's that noise? And then he turns on the lamp, and right away, there's Irina, naked with blood all over her mouth, and she just screams out, "Don't look at me!" And then whoosh, crashes the lamp.
Ugh.
It was cool. It's like, okay, geez. That was Smeg's lamp. Later, Paul wakes up naked and covered in slime and shit on the bathroom floor of this hotel room, right?
Oof.
Yeah. And when he wakes up, this motherfucker acts like a cat, okay? He gets up and he like shakes his head like a cat waking up, like, oh, what's going on? It's so weird. And he like, looks at his body. He's all like fucking slimy. He's got pieces of her skin like hanging on him. He picks one off of his shoulder and just like eats it.
What?
Yeah, for real. And it's like, oh, yeah, okay. This shit's great. The hotel room is totally trashed. The blonde, is just mauled and gory. It's just like a pile of blood and bones.
Yeah.
We see like Detective Barney. He's like, there's been another murder. Let's meet at the donut shop. Irina, she hears about, they've gone home by now. She hears about this. She's like, I want to leave town. I want to go. But you can't. It's Kevin's dad. I love you. Oh, yeah? Would you still love me even if we could never sleep together? And he's like, not sleep together. Don't be stupid. She's like, I'm afraid for you. But babe. And then we see that Paul is up a tree watching them.
Oh.
Like a cat.
Yeah.
And he is jacking off. Like a cat. With one of his legs like straight up in the air. Licking his own butt. You see cops, they're like combing the bayou for the sex panther. We gotta find this motherfucker. Kevin's dad and Beverly are out there with him, and the detective, not Barney, the one who found the first sex panther in the hotel. Mm-hmm. The Hooker Hotel. He's like, yeah, sorry, man, we got to call off the search. We just don't have the resources or the manpower, But you can't. Hey, Kevin's dad, you're the one who wouldn't kill it when you had the chance. You could have euthanized that motherfucker, but then he escaped from your damn zoo because you're a fucking idiot. And then Kevin's dad just punches this cop right in the face. Right there in the bayou in the middle of a whole bunch of other cops.
Yeah.
Kevin's dad immediately begins his 3-part apology. Now, look, man, I'm sorry. Yeah, well, fuck you. And then the cop is just like, he walks away. would never happen. I mean, you're telling, stop resisting. Yeah, I don't care how good of friends you are with that cop. That ain't happening. Kevin's dad and Beverly Marsh, they're driving home in his truck, and they get into a fight, because they're almost at a Special K. She's like, hey, so what's going on with you and Irina? Like you're like obsessed with her. Nah, everything's fine. I know what I'm doing. And you realize that Beverly Marsh, she had a relationship with Kevin's dad and has obviously lost him. And I think she's handling it with the greatest of ease. Really holding it together like a stone cold gangster. Anyway, Irina is at home in bed looking at porno when Paul crashes through the window. And he's like, bitch, you're mine for sex. Now, save me, Irina. Make love with me as brother and sister. And she's like, man, no. Oh, come on. We can live together as mates like mom and dad did. And she's like, oh, Jesus. It's like, oh, yeah. Yeah, you didn't know that? Yes, they were brother and sister. Come on, you can save us. You can save us both. And then he, gets on the bed and pats it. Like, come on. Oh, you're thinking about Kevin's dad? Ah, man, fuck that guy. Let Beverly Marsh have him. They're both lame. Now, come on, let's do this. She's like, He gets up, he walks to her, he picks up a piece of glass from the window breaking. He's like, then you leave me no choice. I'm going to have to use this. And then she actually takes it from him, and she's like, you know what? Okay, I'll come with you. And he's like, wait, really? Yeah. And then she gets all up in his face like she's going to start making out with him. And he's like, oh, yes. Yes, sweet. Okay, that's good. And then she takes the glass and stabs him in his hand with it. And he's like, ah! She runs out of the room. And he's like, we stay with him. And he's like shaking. He gets up off the floor. And he looks down at his fist, okay, that just got stabbed. And the skin is cut open. And we can see black hair underneath. It's really cool looking. He's like, oh shit, there is a panther paw breaking out of his hand right now. He looks up and he's got fucking green cat eyes, and it's like, damn! I thought you had to have sex to be a panther, but it don't matter, okay? Kevin's dad and Beverly Marsh get there, and she's like, hey, you want some coffee? Everything's fine now, right? Yeah, sure. Hey, Irina. Hey, we're going to make some coffee and do some drugs. You want to get high? Irina! She's not answering. He goes up to her room. He opens the door and it's all dark inside. And he's like, babe? And it's raining outside and there's lightning. And in the flash of the lightning, we see a half-morphed Paul in the corner of the room. And when the lightning crashes and we see him, he just screams out, Kevin's dad! Rah! And then he just starts scampering towards Kevin's dad. And he comes out into the light a little bit. And then he goes into shadow. And then the Sex Panther comes out of the shadow. Seamlessly done. Beautiful. Mm-hmm. Anyway, Kevin's dad is in a room with a panther now. So, that's happening. He's got to fight it.
Shit.
And he starts screaming, Bev, get the gun. Get the shotgun. And this panther's like, come on, bitch. Let's dance. She's mine. And, he's trying to fight off this panther, and it jumps for him, and then boom, it gets shot and flies out the window. And there's Beverly Marsh standing there with a smoking shotgun.
Nice.
Outside, Irina, who's just still outside, she's standing over the body, and she's like, oh no. And then she goes, ah! But her cry turns into like the animal inside is anguished. Later, we got the Sex Panther on a slab at the zoo, and Kevin's dad is going to do an autopsy. An interesting thing that happens in this scene, he's got this dead Sex Panther, okay, and he's wheeling it over on a cart, and then he slides it off the cart onto a table, and when its head hits the table, you hear off camera somebody go, easy. And that is the animal handler telling the actor, be careful, that is a real live drugged cat. You're slamming onto the table, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. It's weird. You can hear it.
Wow.
Easy.
Oh.
So Kevin's dad's like, all right, let's autopsy this bitch. And he takes a scalpel and he just goes right for the dick. It's so weird. It's like, why you gotta do that, man? Telling me she's yours. So he slices it open, goes right from the dick up to the neck, okay? Makes a whole incision. And then he pulls out like the rib clippers. Okay, and we're like watching all this. It's pretty cool. So he snips the ribs and then spreads them open. He like fillets this panther. It's pretty cool. As he flops the side over and exposes the inside, human hand comes out. And it's like, oh, shit!
Damn.
Scares the shit out of him. And then all of this yellow gas just starts coming out of the body. And he's like, oh, fuck! And he starts coughing and shit. And he's like, oh, God! And then his eyes like roll back in his head. And then the panther's body just starts dissolving. And it turns into a puddle of shit on the table.
Oh.
It's like smoking. Irina goes to the county jail to visit Famale. They like bring her in. She's in like a gray jumpsuit. It's like, how long has it been? What's going on here? She just looks at Irina. Is Paul dead? Yeah. I just don't know what to do now. Ah, yeah, you're all alone. You know what? Live as he did. Hidden, in chains. Never love. Pretend the world is what men think it is. And then she just gets up to leave. And Irina's like, wait, don't leave me. Famale's like, bitch, you the one who brought the police to the house. I don't want to talk to you. Why are you still in jail? I don't know. Doesn't matter, baby. What's it like in here? It sucks. What do you do all day?
Fucking voodoo magic, man.
Irina's like, okay, that's it. She leaves. She leaves town. She goes to the train station. She flops like $11 on the table. She's like, how far will this get me? The guy's like, Richmond, Virginia, $11. So she's on the train and she dreams. Okay. And in her dream, she's in a crowded airport. And, there might be a man standing behind her with a panther head. But it could have been a shadow. We don't know. Anyway, she goes outside into the red desert.
Huh.
And all of a sudden, and it's like, whoa, with gasoline. Out of the red fog walks Paul, okay? And he's bare-chested. And he's like, hello. Long ago, our ancestors sacrificed their children to the panthers, the sex panthers. And those children's souls grew inside of them until they became human. We were gods then. And she's like, oh, okay. We're an incestuous race. We can only screw our own. Otherwise, we transform. You know, I keep trying to tell you, it's not weird if we're cats. She's like, no, I get it now. Anyway, then we have to kill in order to be human again. And then they see the tree full of sex panthers. And they're all like, hey! Welcome home. And there's one growling. And this panther looks at Irina and growls, Irina. And Irina's just like, holy shit. And she goes, mother. And it's like, oh.
Huh.
And then Paul's just like, you must return. And then it cuts to Beverly Marsh jogging through New Orleans. Yeah, she's running. She keeps turning around like something's following her. What's going on here? And then she sees in the trees there is a fucking animal chasing her. And it's like, fuck! She starts running for her life, and then it just turns out to be a friendly dog. A big red lipstick boner. She's like, oh, come on, get off, get down. Anyway, then she goes to the gym, and the lady's like, we're closing up. Oh, come on, just a quick dip in the pool. Just 5 minutes. All right, 5 minutes, go ahead. So then Beverly Marsh goes down to the locker room and takes about 5 minutes to get undressed, but we're there the whole time for it. The director, took time to show us her taking off her shoes. And then he's like, what's your name? Beverly Marsh? Okay, take off your shirt. So she's naked too, right? And then all of a sudden, there's panther growling, around the corner. Beverly Marsh is smart, and she's like, oh, fuck that. She goes and jumps into the pool. Like, if there is a panther in here, I will get in the middle of the water, and then when he tries to come in and get me, I'll just swim to the other side.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's terrified, and then the lights go out. And it's like, oh, shit. And this panther comes into the room. You can hear it. You can't see it, though. She's freaking out, and then she just screams. And then in walks Irina. Okay? And she's like, what's going on? Why are you screaming? Bitch, I know you're following me. Don't deny it. No, I'm just here looking for Kevin's dad. Sorry, I scared you. And then she leaves. The lady from the gym comes down. She's like, what's going on? Nothing. Well, here's your clothes. And then Beverly looks at them, and they're all clawed up.
Wow.
Cuts to Kevin's dad at home, and he's like in a dark room developing photos of like the swamp fishing trip and stuff, and he's pining over Irina.
Yeah.
And then the phone rings downstairs. He goes down there, and the phone is off the hook. He's like, okay. He hangs it up. It immediately rings again. Hello? It's Beverly. She's like, Irina followed me to the gym, and I'm pretty sure she wants to hurt me. You want me to come over? He's like, no. Are you sure I can come over and like, be with you? Now stay where you are. Right then, Irina walks in. She just walks up to him while he's on the phone with her. Are you sure? Because I don't really think you should be alone right now. And he's just staring at Irina, who begins to take off her shirt. And he's like, nope. I'm good. And then he just hangs up the phone. Irina's looking at him all like seductory.
Yeah.
And he's like, and then she just goes upstairs and strips as she's doing it. So he follows her, because that's what Kevin's dad does. She's naked on the bed, and he just walks up and starts getting naked himself. And you, as the viewer, are like, oh, no. He sits down, and he's like, are you scared? She doesn't say anything, and they just start getting it on. Here we go again, David Bowie. So you wanna fuck cat people? It cuts to them. They're all done. Okay, and Kevin's dad is like already asleep. That was great, thanks. Okay, so here's a weird part. Irina gets up out of bed and walks into the bathroom. She's just looking at herself in the mirror. Then she reaches her hand down, brings it up, and she's got blood all over her fingers. Okay, remember she was a virgin. Then she puts them in her mouth.
Goo.
Yeah, and you're like, oh yeah, okay. This is why audiences, they didn't really take to this movie. one of a couple reasons, maybe. She goes out there and gets back in bed, and then, what? Uh-oh. She feels something. And she can hear a fly buzzing around, and she like catches it with her hand, and then she just like claws the bed sheets and starts morphing into a fucking Sex Panther. She just like turns her face to the camera. She's got these big cat eyes. She's got makeup on and shit. She looks great. And then, her face gets all super tight and a panther head just like breaks out of it. Ugh. It was cool, man.
Damn.
And then there's a fucking sex panther on top of Kevin's dad. And he's like, oh, Jesus. And she's like, wow, wow. And then he just yells out, please, Irina. And the panther's like, okay. And it just runs away. Okay. Jumps out the window. It's running down the street, and it scares the shit out of a couple of cops, because that's all there is in New Orleans. The cops end up cornering it on a bridge, okay? And there's like so many cops. There's even a chopper, okay? They call Kevin's dad, call that zoo guy! And you see the cat, okay, and it sucks because it's obviously no longer a black leopard. Now it's like obviously some sort of cougar that has been dyed black. Yeah. I don't know why. Kevin's dad is there, and he's like, hey, panther, Irina, come here. It sees him, and then it just jumps into the river. And this one cop is just like, oh, shit, shoot it. This one lone cop. And it gets away. And Kevin's dad is like, oh, that's it. I know what to do. And he gets in his truck. He drives back to the old fishing hut. All right. And then in a tree, he sees the dead, mangled body of old Smeg. He walks into the house, and there's Irina. She's like, I killed Smeg. He's like, yeah, I saw. Why? You could have just killed me. But I love you. I don't love Smeg. No one will ever love Smeg. I need you to kill me. I can't. Then free me. Free me. Like only you can, baby. I want to live with my own. And then she just starts taking off her clothes. Kevin's dad realizes this is his last chance to get down. So he's like, all right, but we're going to do it my way. And then we get about 6 minutes of him tying her down to the bed. Ties her hands, and then he spreads her legs like whoosh, and ties them down. And it's like, damn, son. And then he whips off his jacket. He's like, okay, let's do this. So you wanna fuck cat people. And then they do it. And Kevin McAllister's dad and his naked white butt. He's just like, going up and down, going up and down. And then all of a sudden, Irina comes. But when she does, she like hisses like a cat. And it just cuts to daytime at the zoo. And it's like, time has gone by, and things are getting back to normal. Kevin's dad is now unhappily married to Beverly Marsh. Like, he is obviously unhappy.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, smooch, I'll see you later. And he's like, yeah, whatever. She goes off to, work around the zoo, and he just, like, wanders aimlessly and depressed. And he wanders into the lion and tiger cages area, okay? And he's like, yeah, whatever. And then you hear, and he looks in this one cage, and there she is, Irina the Sex Panther. Lives at the zoo now.
Yeah.
And he's just standing there, staring at her. Real sad looking. And they're staring into each other's eyes. And there's this panther just sitting in the corner of the cage, masturbating. And he's just like... And then the Sex Panther just turns around and shows him its winking butthole. And he's like, oh, jeez. And then he holds up a sketchbook. And he starts drawing it. And there's tears hitting the page, And he's like, oh, jeez. And he just reaches into his pocket, pulls out some ketamine. And the credits roll, baby. And there you have it, folks. Cat People on Movies with Ron.
Good job, man.
Thanks, buddy. Rick, what'd you think?
Oh, man. Between the ketamine and the incest, I need to see this movie.
You come for the boobs. You stay for the ketamine. You know what it kind of reminds me of? The Francis Ford Coppola version of Dracula?
Yeah?
I don't know. I just get those vibes.
Huh. I, myself, do not.
It's trying to be like sexy and mythical. I don't know.
Yeah. Tell you one thing. If this movie has taught me anything, it is how to eat oysters.
That's what you got from it. Hot sauce and drink it down with some beer.
Yeah, you gotta let it slide down the throat. Don't chew it or taste it.
Which is funny, because he says this, he's like, and then let it slide down your throat. And then you just see him, like, chewing it.
I've had steamed oysters before, and I chewed those. Steamed is like...
You steam a good ham.
Wait. Raw is like snot, where steamed is like booger.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You eat a lot of boogers?
In my time, yes.
I am glad you are back.
All right, folks. If you like what you hear, you're using iTunes or Apple Podcasts, go ahead and leave us a rating and review. We'd really appreciate it. We're on all your other favorite podcast apps at movieswithron.com. There's a Facebook page, and we're on Twitter at movieswithron. Check us out. It's been fun.
Yep, we love you.
Take care.
Movies with Ron.